There is one thing that quietly blocks God's movement in many of our lives. Not sin we are openly proud of, not rebellion we celebrate, but something much more subtle: control. Many of us pray for God to move, but we refuse to let go of the very things we keep trying to manage on our own. We say, "Lord, I trust you," but our hearts whisper, "I'll handle this myself." And here is the truth: God does not fight for control. He waits for surrender. The issue: control disguised as responsibility. Control often looks spiritual. It looks like planning, preparing, protecting, and being responsible. But control becomes a problem when it replaces trust. You pray, but you don't release. You ask, but you don't let go. You believe, but you still carry the weight. The Bible addresses this clearly. 1 Peter 5:7 says, "Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you." Notice, it does not say carry some of your care. It says cast it. Casting means throwing it off your shoulders and placing it in God's hands. Real-life scenarios. Some of you are trying to control your finances. You're worried about bills, debts, and future stability. And instead of trusting God, anxiety leads every decision. Some of you are trying to control relationships. You replay conversations, overthink motives, and try to predict every outcome. Some of you are trying to control your career. You push, hustle, and stress because you fear that if you slow down, everything will fall apart. Some of you are trying to control your healing. You keep reliving old wounds instead of allowing God to restore your heart in His timing. And in all of these situations, control becomes heavier than faith. What happens when you hold on? When you refuse to release control, three things happen spiritually. Peace decreases. You carry what God never asked you to carry. Faith weakens. You begin to trust your own ability more than God's power. God's movement slows in your heart, not because God is unwilling, but because you are still holding on. The Bible reminds us in Proverbs 3:5, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding." Trust requires letting go.